We begin tonight with breaking news. Governor Gavin Newsom just issued a state of emergency in what is being called an unprecedented situation. Some 40,000 Orange County residents under evacuation orders, all due to a hazardous chemical crisis at an aerospace facility. Officials out there scrambling to find a resolution to the situation that will not lead to an explosion or a chemical spill. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Price.
And I'm Steffi Roche, glad to be with you tonight. I'm joining you live from La Palma outside an evacuation center. Now, this facility in question, it is in the town of Garden Grove. That's a city that sits approximately 2 miles from Disneyland. We have aerial footage we can show you here of that area. Now, the aerospace facility, it belongs to GKN Aerospace. There sits an industrial tank containing about 7,000 gallons of methyl methacrylate, which is used to make plastics. It's becoming pressurized and is releasing gas as it overheated on Thursday. Now, the concern right now is that the tank will overheat and it will explode, releasing a fireball into the sky, which is why 40,000 Orange County residents have had to evacuate to sites like this here at the John F. Kennedy High School in La Palma. And this afternoon, I caught up with one resident. She lives right behind that facility and she had to evacuate.
They're behind the tanks and I'm ground zero. And it's like, I don't want to at this point in my life have to recreate my life versus recreate my home. What more can I do? I can't physically do and be scared and plan, but I'm just waiting it out like we all doing. But we're waiting out together and everybody, we haven't had a riot, nobody's fighting in there. We're all together just happy and trying to wait for the best.
People trying to keep positive out here. Now, as for the latest today, officials say the temperatures inside the tank have increased. Now, Orange County authorities, they see the temperature inside increased to 90 degrees from 77 degrees yesterday morning and is rising about 1 degree per hour. The Orange County Fire Authority says officials are allowing the tank to cure at a slower rate, reducing its building over pressure. They say they are bringing people in from all over the country, trying to come up with additional options, adding that letting this thing blow up is unacceptable to them. Now, they do have contingency plans in place should it blow up, which is, of course, the outcome no one wants. But it does beg the question, how dangerous are these chemicals? And that is what our very own Alex Lai is digging into tonight. She joins us now in studio, and she spoke with health experts about these hazards. Alex?
Well, Steffi, that's right. This is methyl methacrylate, also known as MMA, and it's used to manufacture resins and plastics. It's considered a highly flammable, toxic substance. As far as health effects, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, inhaling MMA vapors can cause skin irritation, respiratory issues like coughing and wheezing, and neurological symptoms, including headaches and lightheadedness. An Orange County health officer said at a press conference yesterday that high levels of exposure can lead to severe respiratory distress and even hospitalization. She also said long-term consequences may impact other organs. However, officials say there are limited case reports on large-scale exposure to MMA, making this an unprecedented situation with so many people potentially exposed to the chemical.
We're going into unique times and we have limited information. We know it does cause irritation. We know on the occupational side, people who work with this material are advised to wear goggles or respirators, try not to get in contact. If it gets in contact with the skin, it can cause a significant skin irritation or allergy.
And as for its effects on animals, the EPA found acute exposure in mice and rats caused lung and liver damage, while high levels of exposure were also linked to fetal abnormalities. However, the Orange County health officer said the effects can vary depending on the animal. I'll send it back out to you, Steffi.
Thanks, Alex. Meanwhile, Orange County officials maintain that really the only people at risk right now are firefighters and police officers currently on the scene at the facility. Now, where we are located here in La Palma, we're actually not too far from Knott's Berry Farm. We drove by it when we were coming in, and the parking lot, it was packed with people. So it really doesn't seem like operations are impacted at that popular amusement park there. But as I mentioned, the Red Cross, they do have several evacuation evacuation centers throughout Orange County. Here is a list. You can take a look at your screen right now, those current shelters. But for the most up-to-date list, you are encouraged to visit theredcross.org/shelters. And of course, the situation here in Orange County, it is changing, but people at this shelter, they are trying to remain optimistic as they wait to get more information. But for now, I'm going to send it back to Steve at the desk.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic indeed, Steffi. Great job out there. Local leaders continue to stress that anyone still in that area should immediately evacuate. They warned that the tank is actively in crisis and will either fail and leak toxic chemicals or, as you've heard, explode. Crews say if it explodes, it could also affect the tanks around it, making a bad situation out there even worse. If the tank leaks, crews say they are prepared with sandbags to stop that chemical from entering the storm drains, which could cause a huge environmental disaster.
But the biggest attempt will be finding another option beyond the two that was provided to us. The one that we're hopeful for right now, something else that will mitigate this and not let this thing affect our community, affect our environment around here, and return this place to normal and get our residents home.
And News 8 will continue to update you on this developing story.